Hey guys, it's Peter, and I'm back. Of course I'm back. I'm not going anywhere. Boost! I'm YouTube famous now, available in 2018, only on iTunes. The affiliate link below, next to my Morphe code. The album, Dad AF, the giveaway edition. Don't cry for me, Argentina. My new fans came in the mail today, and I love them. So anyway, my new fans today, Juicy fan and Slay fan, came in the mail today from Daft Boy fans, not sponsored. I wish I was. I love them. So because they came in the mail today, I am going to give away my old two fans, Fringella of the World and Sloppy Mess fan, and I'm going to sign them. Why wouldn't I? And I'm also going to give away my very first ever Poopy to Chiffon doll, who doesn't really ever make appearances in my videos anymore because she's locked up at girls' school most of the time because of her negative, problematic behavior. So anyway, if you are a Wolf Packer and would like these little trinkets that will be signed by me, you guys are probably like, why aren't you giving away a palette or some lip scrubs? Because I just think this is so juicy. No, I don't know. This is for the people that really like my videos. I mean, if you don't really like my videos and you don't really like me, you're not gonna enter a giveaway for a fan that is used and signed by me. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna do that on Instagram. Go follow my Instagram if you don't already. I'm gonna put it up here today or tomorrow, a little giveaway, and I have this wheel thing of how I get to pick the winner, and I'm so excited about it. So, and of course you'll get like a little personal note and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, let's get right into this video. Now, you know, I have to say before I get into this video, I'm gonna be talking about Shane Dawson. Okay, first of all, I got two things to say to Shane Dawson. Shane Dawson needs to get off these nuts, okay? Because I am having to make too many videos about Shane Dawson lately. And the second thing is, Shane, I love you. I mean, you know, Shane is the kind of YouTuber, and it's not even just about being a YouTuber, it's about being a human being in the world. That when you are, you know, like I'm always inspired and motivated by people that are putting out good energy and good vibes into the world. And they're doing things, you know, not just because of what will benefit them, but because they feel like it's the right thing to do. And, you know, I aim to be that person. I aim to remain teachable and be a better version of myself the next day than I was the day before. And I think Shane Dawson is an excellent example of that. And, you know, when you think he has raised the bar, he raises it again and again, to the point where you just sit back and you're like, I mean, what is he gonna do next? Like, he's just an awesome human being, and that's why I love watching his videos. He's also fine as I say that in all my videos, but I mean, you know, there's something about him that, like, you can tell watching his videos extends way past the camera. And it's just about who he is as a human being. I love that he has no problem laughing at himself first. You know, when there are times that need to be serious, he is serious. When there are times that humor can, you know, relieve a situation, and I talked a lot about this the other day in my Bobby Burns video, and I've sang Shane's praises for years, so if you came to this video and you said, don't talk about Shane Dawson, you didn't watch my video, okay? I know that. I know because you left a comment, and what basically you said was, I don't watch your videos, and it's comment on every video where I think somebody's bashing Shane Dawson, but you're wrong, because I'm an Uber fan. And, you know, that's an important part of this video, is that I have been an Uber fan of YouTube for many, many years. You know, probably 8 or 9 years at this point. I, back in the day, watched, you know, Johnny Boy XO, who is making a return to YouTube. And on Twitter said she would do a collab with me. Did you faint a million faints? And I watched Chris Crocker back in the day, and, you know, Adore Delano went long before the RuPaul's Drag Race things, and it just, you know, those are the days of YouTube that I miss, you know, when Joy Graceffa was just a gamer. And, you know, Tyler Oakley was looking at lean cuisines up in his, you know, what do you call it, his freezer at college, and Glozell Green was singing lyrics to Kesha. Those are the things I loved on YouTube, right? That genuine authenticity that you see come from somebody's soul, because they just love to make videos so damn much, right? So him going and helping Graveyard Girl, this is the video that we're talking about. And if you haven't seen the video, you need to go watch it and then come back to this video, because I'm just going to talk about it as if you guys have seen it, because the entire world has seen it. Graveyard Girl, Bunny, has gained tons of subscribers off of this, as she should. And she has been a long time, I was going to say she's been a long time fan of mine. No, I have been a long time fan of hers for a really, really long time. And I really, couldn't figure out with her always, like what it was about her that I loved so much. And after watching this video yesterday, I think what I found out was I love her because she reminds me so much of myself. And I think that YouTubers that we fall in love with them because they remind us of pieces of ourselves, but they are able to extend past that. And, if you haven't seen the video, what the video is about is that Shane Dawson goes to Houston, Texas, where Bunny lives, Graveyard Girl. And they go through the house and shows her rooms, and so it's very cool. And there's a third part that's coming out on Thursday, so I may have to do a second part to this video. But then he sits down and they talk, and he asks her like what's been going on, and she talks a lot in there about that she just is like, basically what she says is, I've kind of lost my passion a little bit. Like when I started doing this, I did it because I loved it. And I was getting dressed every day, and I was getting excited about making videos every day. And she talks about the year 2014 being like this amazing year for her, and she was like the fastest growing channel on YouTube, or one of the fastest growing ones. And then at some point, it became very much to her, and she uses the word industry, and she says, I hate that word, but then she uses it again down, throughout the video. And I thought that was interesting because, I do think that happens over time, and I'm going to talk about this in just a second, where it stops becoming a passion and it starts becoming a business for a lot of these YouTubers. And it makes me really, really sad, because I understand why it happens, because it's paying your bills and it is your job, right? But she talked about becoming consumed with the numbers and all that kind of stuff. And one of the criticisms that I get a lot, and she's millions of subscribers and views, right? She hit 1 billion views. She was talking about when she hit 1 billion views, she didn't even know it because she was so in love with what she was doing. And I think what's scary to me is that that's where I'm not at the 1 billion views. That's where I'm at in doing YouTube videos right now, is that I love it so much. I just get up every day and I'm like, what am I going to make a video about today? What am I going to talk about today? And for me, it's about the passion. What scares me is, what happens 7 or 8 years, what did I just do to my hair? What happens 7 or 8 years down the road when it isn't about that anymore, and it is about the numbers and all that kind of stuff? And one of the criticisms that I get a lot is that I don't respond to social media as much as I used to. And it was interesting because I was in a live stream the other night, and I literally went through and just showed all the messages on Twitter that I have not responded to. There are thousands, and I'm thankful for all of them. I go in there and I try to answer 5 or 10, and the thing is, I don't want to just put a blue heart, I want to put a message, because you guys talking to me and responding to me is so heartfelt, and it means so much to me. And people immediately think, oh, well, Peter, he's changed. I haven't changed, I just can't keep up. And I have to imagine that on a much bigger scale, that is what happens to YouTubers like Bunny and Shane and these people, is that it gets to a point where it's almost too much to handle. And she talked in there and she was like, she goes to Starbucks several times a day because those are her friends, because she doesn't really know a whole lot of other people. And she talked in there a lot about having anxiety and social anxiety. And I was like, oh my God, this is me. I talk about social anxiety in all of my videos, And here's the thing. For a person that is shy or has social anxiety, it's easy to kind of put on a mask at times. But YouTube is an amazing career for somebody that has social anxiety, because you can sit behind a camera and you can just be like, every time I do my videos, he says, don't wake me up. I have Pee-Pee the Flying Chihuahua. How are you, sweetie? He said, well, I'm having a good day. But I always have my dog right next to me, and he's my best friend. And so, in a way, I kind of feel like I'm just talking to him, And as strange as that sounds, and so there isn't a fear of 10,000 people behind the camera watching what I have to say. And, Shane gives her some amazing advice and talks about what an authentic person she is and how much fun she is. And she doubts herself, and she doubts herself, and she doubts herself. Well, when you're in a house alone by yourself all day long, and all you do is go to Starbucks and check your numbers on Social Blade and on your YouTube creator app, and you look and see how many views am I getting and all that kind of stuff, at some point, it becomes about all that, I wrote a book several years ago, and I haven't finished a book since, and people ask me about it all the time. And it was kind of like when I finished the book and all the hype that came after it, I was kind of like, at that point, I was just kind of was like, now what, you know? Well, as Oprah says, now you have to dream a bigger dream. And Shane talks in the video about how, you know, she needs to grow up on YouTube and she needs to really show parts of herself. And I don't know what's going to happen in the next part of the video, but I think that one thing is, I would say to any YouTuber out there, not as a YouTube creator or dude with a camera, but as a YouTube super fan, okay, is that real knows real. And, years ago on my website that my husband and I own, we used to interview a lot of like D-list celebrities, YouTubers, things like that. And we actually interviewed Johnny Boy XO. And she said in there, I said, why do you think you're popular on YouTube? And she goes, because I just tell my truth and real knows real. And I think that's true. I think that's 100% true, is that when you just are yourself and you do the best you can, like people don't see it as bullshit, they don't see it as fakety, and people relate to it and they're like, God, that's me, like I so relate to that, you know? And so I think it's really, really important that we show ourselves, we tell our truth, we own it, and we show who we are. And, you know, she can't do these as-seen TV things for the rest of her life. You know what I mean? She's older. She's going to age out of that and become something different. And I think the scary thing is, who do I want to be next? And that's not just on YouTube. That's in any career. For a lot of you out there watching this, I'm sure you're thinking to yourself, I feel like that right now. Whether you work in retail and medicine, you know, whether you, I don't know, work for the UPS, whatever you do, okay? I think we all reach a point of kind of burnout where we're like, what's next? Like, I need something else. On the heels of watching this video, I was sent a video by one of my very best friends on the in the BookTube community. And if you don't know, I started on BookTube. And I know this video is kind of serious, and, you know, I don't really care. I feel like I need to say it. And this is just me telling my truth on here too, you know? And I started my YouTube career, so to speak, on BookTube, talking about books and all kind of stuff. The very first comment I ever received on a BookTube video, I will never forget this, was from Richard at Richard's Media Geek. And at that time, he had thousands of subscribers, and I was like, oh my God, he has like 8,000 subscribers. Like, oh my God, like he's a huge booktuber, you know? And he and I have been friends back and forth since then. And I've watched all of his videos and all this kind of stuff. And he posted a video last night, and in the video, it was 33 minutes long. And I'm going to link it below too. And I would like you guys, if you could, to go cheer up somebody's day, send him a little love, and maybe subscribe to his channel. What he talked about in there was mental health in combination with doing YouTube, which is sometimes a dangerous mix. When you're alone by yourself all the time and you're only interacting with the camera and with your subscribers and with social media, it's hard, you know? It's a lonely place to be sometimes. And it's kind of the unspoken part about YouTube that we don't really ever talk about. You know, the fact is that I get up and, you know, my life looks much different today than it did when I first started doing YouTube. At that point, I was like, what 2 videos am I gonna do today? And I post 2 videos on BookTube every day. I post 4 videos on 4 different channels, and I still every day wake up and I'm like in love with it. But I'm afraid of what's gonna happen when that isn't the case anymore. And I spend a lot of time alone just thinking up ideas or filming videos and that kind of thing. And I think for a lot of these people, it has to be 10 times, 100 times of a bigger deal because they're on a bigger level. So for me, it's still, you know, a hobby. It's like not my career. It's not what pays the bills. I can't imagine the fear associated with that, the stress that then can turn into a physical manifestation of what's going on with my career on YouTube. And I watched this video of his, and it just broke my heart because he was talking about, you know, struggling with depression and how it affected his YouTube channel, and that, you know, he had been doing YouTube for 7 years and he just didn't feel like he was where he wanted to be. He just didn't feel like he was getting any of the rewards of doing YouTube. And, you know, it wasn't, he says in there several times, don't have pity for me. But it was just an eye-opening experience to see another YouTuber talk about what that experience is like. And I think it's really important, and I think it would be, I don't know, appropriate for more YouTubers for their fans, for their audience, their subscribers, to get on camera and really talk about what their real life is like. You know, that they have a little area set up where they film videos, and that's just their little area, and they get up and take a shower and do their hair and go sit in front of the area, and then it's like, you know, it reminds me of the quote by Janis Joplin, something to the effect of, you know, I get on stage and I make love to 38,000 people and I go home absolutely alone. And there is a little bit of that detachment when you turn off the camera. It's like you're like, yeah, hey, slay. And then you turn off the camera and it's just like, okay, now what? Which is why it's always been important for me to keep in contact with my friends, to have friends that I go do stuff with, to have my recovery, to have my sober friends, to, you know, on and on and on. And, you know, to see somebody at Bunny's level of subscribers and then to see somebody at Richard's level, basically both saying kind of the same thing, saddens me, because what I have to believe then is that there are so many YouTubers out there that are in the same, you know, have the same feelings, that they feel like they struggle on a day-to-day basis because the passion's gone. And what I think is, you know, for any time in my life that I have really struggled with, I used to be passionate about something and I'm not passionate about it anymore, I've always stepped away and taken a week or two, you know, taken 3 or 4 weeks and said, with my writing, taken a year. I took a year off, you know. Is this really what I want to do? What do I want to do next? The people that love you will stick by you. You know, at one point, Bunny talks in there about, you know, I'm afraid that if my numbers go down or this or that, that like, you know, people won't collab with me and people are this and people are phony on YouTube. And sweetheart, I haven't been around nearly as long as you have, and I have found that to be 100% true. And when Shane Dawson says, fuck those people, I was like, amen. Fuck those people that don't have your back, okay? And, you know, the people that watch your videos are the ones that are important. They're the ones that get up. They're the ones that take the time to write the comments on the videos. They're the ones that stand in line to meet you at the meet and greets. They're the ones that are buying your merch. They're the people that love you. Those people will wait for any YouTube creator or whatever if they need to take some time. It was interesting because a lot of people question why people walk away from YouTube, and I do too at times. Like, I just don't understand it. I love it so much. I'm like, I can't imagine just walking away from this, right? But, you know, several months ago, Michelle Phan put out a video where she talked about why she stepped away from YouTube. And if you haven't seen this video, I will link it below as well. If you don't know who Michelle Phan is, she's a beauty guru on an extraordinary level. And it is a fantastic video. It's all done in animation. And she's talking about it. And in there she talks about, you know, that it became very much for her about sponsored videos and making money, and she had a team of people she was working with, and they were basically dictating and telling her what to do. And at some point it was just about, she just wanted to take care of her family. As, you know, it went from being a passion to taking care of her family to this whole industry that she had lost sight of what it was that she did that she loved to do from the beginning. Now she didn't love it anymore because it had changed. And I think that happens to all of us. And so this isn't just about YouTubers. This is about any of us in our lives, that when something that we're doing and we started it as a passion loses its excitement, loses its passion, maybe it's time to reevaluate and say, do I continue down this road just in a different manner, or do I walk away forever? And, you know, with YouTube, our channels aren't going to, if you don't post, they're not going to go away. You could always post a video 6 months down the road or a year or whatever. And I understand that for a lot of people, this is their money. This is their bread and butter. So the thing is that YouTube is a career where we have absolute 100% control over what we do with our channels, what we put out there. When we put whatever we want to put out there, it doesn't matter. Maybe people won't watch it, and maybe they will. And maybe you'll surprise people. And maybe people will get excited about seeing a new you. And maybe people will be excited by seeing the cathartic change that you're going through. And they'll be excited to see, wow, just like I related to this person 7 years ago, I really relate to them now. And that is what I hope for Bunny, and that is what I hope for my friend Richard, and that is what I hope for any YouTuber out there that's struggling, whether they have 50 subscribers or 2,000 subscribers or 2 million subscribers or 10 million subscribers. We are all going to feel lonely and feel burnout at some points. But the people that love us and the people that watch our videos will continue to love us. Trust me, I know, because I'm an uber fan of YouTube. I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow.